We are All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm the Reverend Ron Phares. Today's soil communion, I want to make sure that everybody has either brought or been gifted some soil. Does anyone need some soil? Because we have soil angels that will deliver that to you. All right, if you need some soil, just raise your hand and we'll get that to you. Super, thank you. So today is the 1-year mark of the tragic events at Club Q. There are several events around town today to mourn the loss of life and the mindset that caused it, and also to declare that violence and hatred will not win, that from loss we will craft even more love. I encourage you to attend one of those events. We reflected on that last week some with the Reverend Sean Neil Barron leading us. And while we won't be focusing on those events today, I do want to take a moment of silence here as we gather, where you may hold in your soul this brokenhearted world and also the hope for a better day. So please join me in a moment of silence. Here at All Souls, today is a ceremony day. And just to understand where we are on this ceremony path, I'd invite you to look back and see how we ceremonialized our unique and collective character in our water communion. That was in September. And then in October, we opened the door to the underworld to welcome the dead and the not yet. And in so doing, found perhaps an eternal sensibility. And while next month we will cast our eyes to the returning light, to embodied hope and generosity, this month we find ourselves still in the underworld, the internal world, the eternal underground other world, the land of mycelial connections, mythic truths, dreams, and soil. We find here our foundations, our decomposition, our generation, our rooted ancestors, and the seed of the fruiting bodies that we will be when we are more memory and story than matter. And yet we will also ever be body, for we are the earth. Breathing earth. Earth with a rhythm, a heartbeat. And so once again, will you put your hand on your heart? Feel that rhythm, that beat, that earth with a pulse. Can you also extend your sense to feel that all the bodies around us now, in this room and beyond, all these bodies, all this living, walking, talking earth is animated by that heartbeat, one and the same, inspired by this deep breath, one and the same. Empowered, supported, and challenged by our rooted ancestors, one and the same, called by all our relations, the sun, the wind, the waters, the land, called and made. We are of the earth. The same earth that here has been for centuries generating the Ute, Comanche, Arapaho, Apache, Cheyenne, Kiowa, Pawnee, and Lakota, now also you. All of us iterations of this earth, ensoiled heartbeats, may we be loamy. May we be fecund, generative, life-giving, seed-nurturing, root-holding, fruit-bearing, silent canticles of creation. As such, we extend welcome to all who would be with us, no matter your history, no matter your failings or achievements, no matter your dispositions, traumas, pursuits, kinks, or economies. Here we honor experience by composting it to participate in reciprocal creation. We are all souls, and all souls are welcome here. Want to give a special welcome to our remote viewers. If you would all give a hearty wave. Hello. Thank you for being with us today. Also want to welcome all the new folks who have been coming. We have a new member ceremony, a new to you, or I forgot what we're calling it actually. You and you, something about you and you. Coming up on December 3rd, and you could sign up for it at the table after, the welcome table after service. And you actually don't have to be new to sign up for that. We would love it if some longtime members also came to that, because it's really just about building relationship. For we are a community. Let us declare that community in song. Please rise and embody your spirit as we sing Gather the Spirit. So, the planet that sustains us is the only known planet with living, breathing skin. And that skin is called dirt. From a far enough distance away, we are indistinguishable from that planetary skin. And from right up close, closer than you can see unaided, it is the same. And the vision from wisdom is also the same, regardless of scale. We are land with legs. The ancients knew this. In Abrahamic tradition, humanity begins with Adam, who is made of clay and breath, and whose name, Adam, translates to earth human. We are the ground given breath for a time. Touch your skin and know that this is animated earth. We are soil, constantly decomposing and recomposing. We are soil that can sing for a time before we soak back into the ground. And then we rise again as grass, as color and bone, and fall again. If it can be said to be a fall, to earth, to loam, to soil, where life goes to let go of itself, to break down, to release, and thereby to clarify and regenerate. For without decay, there would be no soil. Without time in the underworld, as Persephone teaches us, there would be no vitality. Without soil, no seed could flourish. No seed would be fed. And this is true both biologically as well as poetically. It is true existentially and mythically. And it is true all the way up and all the way down from the cosmic cycle of life itself to the personal cycle of our own lives, to the myriad cycles of life within our lifetimes. Indeed, parts of us must decay so that other parts can flourish. Chapters, themes, and characteristics of our identities must be allowed to compost so that fresh characteristics, themes, and chapters may flourish. And while change can be scary, resisting our decomposition is where dukkha, the Buddhist concept of suffering, comes from. Suffering comes from resisting our decomposition. We get stuck between fear and suffering. But why are we so afraid? Why is it so hard to trust our becoming? So this is where, by getting in touch with the eternal life force that animates you, which hopefully our All Souls ceremony gave us a glimpse of, getting in touch with that, we are more easily able to let go of what needs letting go of, and trust the depth, trust the decay. For the seeds of you need the decay of you. And the patience of the eternal allows us to relax. So relax. Ease into your decay. Trust the seeds. Relax. And trust the soil, our home, our place of rejuvenation and return. So to do that, I'd ask that you recall a time when something broke down, a relationship, a job, a day, a body. Now remember something that grew out of that experience, some new path, a new relationship, a new way of being, some new life that came from that decomposition. So let us, like earth, find life in the quiet, internal churning of the breakdown. What in your life right now is dying? What in your life right now needs to die? What in your life may need to be let go of in order to allow more life into your world? Is it a grudge? A regret? An attitude? A habit? A relationship? A status? A sadness? What is it that you will let decompose in order that its death brings new life into your world? Put a name to it. Put a name to it. Find just one. Put a name to it. And remember what you have named it. Now, what will you plant in its compost? What seed will you push under that earth that will use that compost and that loss as food to grow something new? Put a name to that. Put a name to that seed and remember it as well. Now you have two words. Letting go to decompose, planting to grow. Hold on to them. We will use them in the ceremony to come. For behold, all around us, the earth is breaking itself down, but fields and gardens that appear fallow are actually quite lively, as the internal processes of decomposition create rich and healthy soil. We are of the earth. And so we have that nexus of life and death that is within the earth, within ourselves. And as we are soil walking, we may today, through word and ceremony and silence, find and acknowledge within ourselves that same nexus. And therein find something worthwhile and something worthy and something deeply you. So we'll prepare for the ceremony with a song. But first, we need to ground ourselves. And we're going to do that sonically. And for that, I need some help. So could I get the youngsters, ye young architects, to come forward and once again occupy the stage with me? Or not stage. It's not a stage, minister, it's a chancel. Come on. All right, so touch the earth. So this is called a chancel, not a stage. Me. Okay, this is a chancel. It rests on some flooring, which rests on some subflooring, which rests on the floor. So to touch the ground, the closest we can get to that right now is touching this chancel, okay? So we're gonna ground into that. Now, to help everybody here also ground, we're gonna make a noise. Have you guys ever ohmed before? Okay, I need you to teach these folks out here how to ohm, okay? So here's how you ohm. I'm gonna come out here so I can see all of you and hopefully not, whoa, trip, all right? Not that close to the ground. You okay? Okay, all right. I'm gonna get close to the ground too. Okay, so to ohm, you wanna make a very low and deep sound, and you wanna have it, maybe if you can, see if you could feel it as much as hear it. Feel it maybe rattle in your skull or in your chest bone. You make a real low sound. So just the youngsters on stage right now, you think you want to help me ohm? You make that word, that sound, ohm, ohm, okay? Take a deep breath in. Ohm. Okay, a little bit louder this time, one more time. Okay, this time I want the whole congregation. You guys can stay in your chairs. You don't have to get on the ground unless you really want to. We're all going to do this together. And here's the thing. It's not going to be simultaneous. We're going to do it for a little while. Breathe deeply as your lungs want to go. And try to feel it in your breastbone or your skull. And we'll just do this for a little while and sink into this moment and really ground, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so are you ready? Dan, are you ready? All right. I'm out of breath. Okay, let's take a deep breath, everybody. Thank you, everybody. You guys can go back to your seat now. All right, so in a moment, Lynn and I will ask you row by row to come forward. This is for the ceremony. We're going to go outside sections first. This is how we'll flow, right? And the middle section's next. And what you're going to do is you're going to step into the aisle of the wall that's closest to you. So the outside sections go that way. This section also goes that way. You'll come around here if you're on the outside. And if you're on the inside, we've even got arrows for you to show how you should walk. And you will stand where these little bars are down here, okay? This is just traffic flow stuff right now, but it's deeply important. Protocol is important to ceremony. So when it's your turn, I invite you to stand before our bowl and to pour some of your dirt into your hand. Remember what you named in your meditation earlier that you will let go of this season. It's in your hand. Infuse that soil with what you've let go of. You can crunch it up, get it on your, get dirty. Okay, with the dirt. And then let it go. This is what you're letting go of. Infused with soil, you've now let it go. And then the thing that you want to plant, you embody that notion by reaching a seed out of your heart. So you put your hand to your heart and plant that into the soil as well. And then you could return to your seats as directed by the arrows. It's important here to remember that you don't speak aloud what you're letting go of or what you're planting. This is a silent, non-verbal ritual, deeply contrarian to the Unitarian sensibility. All the more powerful for it, I promise. So don't say it. As a matter of fact, when you plant your seed, tell no one, not now, not later. Tell no one that word until we do this next year. Don't tell your partner, not your family, not your friends, not even your minister. This is a word that will be made more powerful, kept secret, kept underground. Seeds work unseen, or in this case, unheard. And folks at home, if you have your soil with you, simply hold it in your hand, maybe grind it into your skin as you meditate on your two words and bear witness to the ceremony conducted here. So remember, what will you compost? What will you trust? Internal processes have public witnesses, and to honor this internal process, we will keep our witnesses and memorials silent and let our bodies talk with the soil. So please share in both silence and community. We are of this earth. This is our body. Let us, like the earth, find life in the quiet, internal churning of the breakdown. Decomposition feeds the seed. What will you let go of to discover flourishing? What is it of you that you will decompose in order that its death brings new life to your world? Here is the ground of our living and dying. Here is the stuff of us, our body, death and life, the nexus of creation and destruction. We anticipate the new shoot and the soon to flower with new confidence in the process of decomposition. We trust the depths and will soon call them into the light. What is gathered here are the things that you are letting go of and the things that you have planted in that fertile ground. We'll have this on the altar in the future, and every time that you come here, you will see the things that you have decided need to be let go of and the things that you have planted. Let this soil remind you of that, and know that that is held by everybody here, that they are composting and revitalizing with you. So this soil is again a symbol of a community coming together to let go and reconstitute, to let die and be reborn. Now, you all remember what happened at the end of water communion, right? With the flinging of the water? Huh? Not yet. Not this time. Maybe someday, probably not. Please rise in body or spirit as we close with a song. As we leave this sacred time and place that we have constructed together, that we have brought our own decomposing loam and revitalizing life to, let us go forward knowing that all that you need to let go of is held by those here. All that you want to see come to fruition is encouraged by those here. Let us go in peace. Let us go as community, earth with legs and a heartbeat. Let us go singing.